Hey everybody, Eric Dorward here with Spartan Rocketry Club, starting a new build, and today's is the Estes Low Boom SST. An SST is a supersonic transport, so like part of it showing. This is what the kit is going to look like. It's supposed to, be vaguely airplane-ish, and apparently it's supposed to be a concept, at least, of what a supersonic transport could look like. The most famous one is, of course, the Concorde, but that hasn't flown in quite some time. Partially because, it had some safety issues with it near the end of its service life, but also because it turns out it wasn't very economical. And part of the economical problem is you can only fly a supersonic uh, over oceans these days because most people live on land, as it turns out, and people don't like it when sonic booms rattle their windows. So this is an idea for an airplane that would have a lower sonic boom, so you could fly it over land, which would be nice. So anyway, let's get started. This one is going to be on the complex side. There's a lot of techniques here that I haven't really done in a video before. And we're going to start somewhat out of order. We're going to make the engine, whatever you want to call them, the engine design pieces. And this is going to involve a good amount of gluing. These are kind of like a jigsaw to put together. I've cut out some of the stuff that we're going to need already, but just to illustrate the point, I've already cut out all this stuff, lots and lots of little pieces. The remaining stuff I'm going to do right now. This is quite thin balsa. It's quite a bit thinner than this is the fin stock. It's like, I don't know, almost half as thin. So you need to be quite careful with it. It is delicate. I have already sanded it, and really I was very gentle with that as well because a lot of this stuff is going to be like internal structure that you wouldn't even see. So we're not going to worry about the finishing, like making sure it is extra smooth on a lot of these things. I'm just carefully tracing things here so I don't damage it. There are little bits, there are holes in these that need to be cut out, so I've been very careful about them. I'm just going to poke out the little extraneous bits here with a knife. These they're not that bad, but I had to cut out a whole bunch of these. These are exceptionally thin, and wow, yeah, really have to be careful with them because if you are too rough, you'll snap them, and that would be a problem. Anyway, just about done here with these big pieces. And that's done. And again, just kind of poking to get them out. There we go. So those are taken care of. And then these like arc pieces, yeah, these you have to be exceptionally careful with. Remember, I'm only trying to get rid of the little burrs, so that's the only place where I'm going to bother cutting these. And I'm just very gently dragging the knife through them. So I don't need to cut anyplace else. This is definitely a kit where you want to make sure that your hobby knife is nice and sharp at the get-go. So replace your blade if you need to. All right, so that's taken care of. That's all the cutting out of that. And for this bit, I also need two of the thicker pieces. I need these two. These are going to be like the core. So again, this is not as delicate. This is the thicker balsa. But still, it's got a lot of intricate little bits here, so be gentle with it. And we've got, just like in that other one, we've got some bits to remove here. I should take care of that. Now, when you're sanding these, because I already did that, because you don't need to watch me sand stuff, but I was very gentle with all of this. Didn't quite go through. There we go. I was very gentle with especially that thin sheet because truthfully, we don't really need it to be all that smooth because a lot of this is internal structure we're not going to see. And this one is going to have a lot of stuff glued around it, so that doesn't need to be particularly smooth either. But even with this sheet, there's some shagginess in the wood right here. Probably should have sanded that a little bit better, but I'm not going to worry about it too much because stuff's going to be right over top of it, so you'd never see it anyway. But also, when you are sanding, sometimes in the process, the pieces kind of want to pop out prematurely. Well, you really don't want that to happen here, because if they pop up and like this little notch gets bumped up while you're sanding it, you could take it off entirely, and that would be bad news. I think I got that already. Yep, it's clear. And that looks. Now these are cut. They just the way they're shaped, they're prone to getting stuck on the way out. There we go. All right, so those are all the pieces that we need to make the little motor pods. Obviously, they're just for decoration, but that's fine. Here are the instructions. We're going to follow this as detailed a fashion as we can. Oh, and we need a couple other things. These are cardstock bits. They're going to be involved as well. Now, I trim these out with scissors. These ones, yeah, they're fine. These ones we're going to need in the near future, and I need to get rid of this rectangle in the middle. Now, typically, I would do this with scissors, but since it's in the middle, I'm going to have to resort to using the hobby knife, which is fine. I'm better with the scissors. I suspect most people are. But if you're cutting something out of the middle of something else, the hobby knife is pretty much, maybe it's not your only choice, but it's your best choice. All right, so that's taken care of. Might as well do the other one now too. There are other bits of cardstock that we're going to use in the construction as well. You'll see that soon. We've made fins out of cardstock. Now this stuff is way thinner than that. It has its uses. We'll see where these go in the near future. All right, so there's 2 pods. So we have twice as many of every piece as we need. So I'm only going to build one of them right now. So I'm going to kind of sort out stuff I don't need, at least in part, to just get it out of the way. All right, so first step, we need 2 of these, and they are going to go in these notches here. So I'm going to test fit it first, and they're going to, the hole in the middle is going to stick through the little bump. So we need some glue to make this happen. And it looks like we're just going to put the glue right across the middle here. Work. Dowel here. Just gonna kind of spread it out right in there. We do want it in the gap as well, because that's part of where it's going to stick. So in it goes, and then line up the notches. This one at least is pointing down, so I don't really need to worry too much about that. I do need to make sure that it's, level. That would be important. This one, on the other hand, is going to be going up. So that'll be kind of interesting, because gravity is definitely not going to be on our side here. Spread it out again. Try to get it at least somewhat in the crack as well. There it goes. And up it goes. And I'm just going to hold it here for a little bit, maybe vertically, so that gravity's not fighting me. There are going to be 2 more of these, and they're going to go kind of in the back, and we're going to be basically doing the same thing. I don't really need these to dry completely. I just need them to be tacky so that they hold. And I do want to check to make sure that they are perpendicular to the construction here before the glue sets too much. All right, that should do. The other ones go right here and on the underside. This time I think I'm going to put the glue, the instructions actually do say it, I'm going to put the glue here on the central piece. And I'm going to get a lot of excess glue, one would think. That's fine. So I can definitely mop things up. And then again. Now this one, I'm going to put, well, no, you know what? Let's flip it over. That's fine. That's not going to hurt anything. In fact, I think that'll be easier again. And on it goes. Oops, I missed a little bit here. A little bit of extraneous glue. All right, let's check the alignment. Alignment's actually not that bad. The glue is still quite not set, which is great because these pieces are going to go on next, and we're going to kind of like jigsaw this whole thing together. So I'm going to do this. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot of glue. Let's clean that out while I'm here. I mean, this is again going to be an internal element, so we're not really going to see it, but still, you know, we got to have some respect for ourselves. All right, I'm going to put glue on all four of one side of this. I'm going to definitely spread this out with the stick. We'll really start small here. And I'm not worrying about the usual 2 layers of glue thing here, because these are not essential elements. They're not going to be keeping the rocket from flying apart at the seams, so we don't need to worry about it as much. Now, hopefully, if I put these on pretty much right, the alignment should not be that big of a problem. However, they don't quite align as it is, which is fine because, again, the glue is tacky, but it is not set. So we have plenty of time to work with this to get it in the right spot. The ones where the hole is in the middle of the piece are probably the ones that I'm going to worry the most about here. They're not on very accurately right now. Oh, I dislodged that one entirely. Probably would have been nice to let these set up a bit more, but that didn't happen. That's fine. All right. So those are in the right place. These are, yeah, they're fine too. All right. Now I'm going to actually grab the piece of wax paper that I usually use for construction here, because I want to put this down. I want to keep working. I don't want to. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to wait very long here, just in case this alignment doesn't work. If this is the other one is fine, but this one's not. I mean, that could certainly be the case. So I want to work pretty quickly before everything dries. The good news is once I get this bit on, everything should pretty much be locked into place. And, you know, if both of these parts fit, then the whole thing will fit. It shouldn't be a problem. All right, so again, I'm going to worry about the ones that have the holes in it first, because they seem to be the trickier elements. The ones that are tougher to align. Right, that one's great. This one, yeah, that one's great too. And those just fit right into place without me worrying about it. Okay. All right, so that's the framework of this thing. Make sure I don't get any glue on the core of it. Yeah, where the pieces are popping through. That's going to be a problem. That's okay though. All right, so the core construction here is built. Now the next thing we need to do is we're going to apply 2 of these little arced bits. Is that the right one? Yeah, they're L. Yeah, they're the arc bits. So they are going to go. There's actually, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's actually like a little bit of dashed lines right here. They're going to go like that. Okay. So I'm going to I think what I'm going to do, well, it'll be fine one way or the other. Just make sure you're applying the glue to the curved outer side, not to the part that you cut. All right. Using my stick to spread things evenly here. This is so tiny, it's going to be a little difficult to work with. I should be all right. So on it goes. This side I must have sanded a little bit harder because I don't really see those markings as clearly as on the other side. So let this be a lesson. You don't need to sand that bit very hard. Yeah. I just saw the beginning of it where it starts, and that's, in the end actually I can see a little bit too. That's all you really need. So there we go. Just cleaning out the glue as necessary. That looks, the alignment there looks pretty good. Let's put the other one on. Just need to make sure I remember to glue the right side. I need it to go on this, so facing this way, so this happens to be the right way. That was coincidence more than anything else. Convenient. Okay. Spreading it thin. Actually, got a decent amount on that time, more than I need. That's okay. Should turn it the other way so I can see it better. On it goes. And just maneuvering it into position according to the little lines. All right. Yeah, so this has actually been fairly time consuming at this point. I'm going to stop here and let this dry. I'm going to build the other one as well in the interim, but this is a good place to stop the first video. Wow, this is, I enjoy this. This is time consuming, but you should get a good reward for it. All right, thanks for watching part 1. I will see you in part 2.